All right, welcome in everyone. Today we're going to be learning how to perfect your form so that you can increase your results. Now you may be asking yourself, well, how does perfecting your form increase your results? So if you have been in our previous lives together, we've been learning that our muscle mass is our metabolism, and our metabolism is what's going to be burning our fat and giving us that beautiful shape. And so we're either doing weight loss or we're doing fat loss. And there's been a very drastic difference between the two of those that they're actually conflicting. And so being able to learn how to get faster results by working basically smarter, not harder, because we're either going to be intentionally speeding our metabolism, or there is a possibility that if we're not doing anything about it, we could be reversing our metabolism. And so that's what the key indicator here about perfecting your form is that you can actually have that mind muscle connection so that when you are lifting your beautiful weights, that you're using the right muscles so that you're starting to actually build those sexy lean muscles to therefore give you that better fat burning potential. Okay, so this is what we've been going over in our one-on-one session. So I'm excited to kind of change my scene here. So instead of at my office, you guys can see now in my front room with me. And if you're watching live, go ahead and comment that you're live. And if you're on the replay, you can go ahead and comment replay down below. What I want you to do is find that comment button, because on these lives, I give away booty bucks that you can turn in for a gift card, or you can use them for accountability, or you can turn around and use them for our fitness app, all sorts of fun things you can do with those booty bucks, okay? So what I want this to be is very interactive. So if you have the ability right now, I want you to go ahead and jump on the floor in your workout section. If you've got booty bands available to you, grab those, because we're actually going to be really using these tonight. And we're also, if you've got a dumbbell, perfect. And as we accelerate, we'll start going into those barbells to make sure that we're lifting the correct form, even with the barbell. So I've seen common mistakes that women are doing with these particular moves. And today we're going to be going over the exact ways that we can start to really perfect your form to start increasing your results, okay? So welcome in. Oh, I've got some people live. Welcome. Let's dive into it. So I'm Danita, and I'm right now in southern Utah. So let me know who you are and where you're from. So let's find, again, that comment button so that we can start to earn those booty bucks. Now, if you're all set, you're on the floor with me, and you've got your equipment and you're ready to go, I want you to go ahead and comment, I'm ready. Okay? So that way I know we can go ahead and begin. So I'm going to kind of give you a little sneak peek about where we're starting to dive into today. We're going to go into this. So the first one is going over floor exercises. This is what we're going to be mainly covering today. So the banded clams, the hydrants, the kickbacks, the glute bridge, and then also into our core. We're going to be going all into that section as well. These ones, you can also see there's an extension where it's also, we'll get to these in just a little bit and kind of learn, well, what are those about? And also this is a fascinating one that I've been teaching our accountability members about fast tracking results, because a lot of us are stuck in the endurance type of training. It's kind of usually when we start getting into fitness is that we start leaning a lot towards the cardio, which in fact could actually be the opposite type of training that we're trying to do in sculpting and toning. So we'll be learning a little bit about that. And then tonight we'll also be diving into progression. And if we have a little bit of some weaker knees, we'll kind of dive into that as well. So that will be kind of fun as far as what we're going over tonight. So we're going to go back up here to our floor exercises, and we'll start there. But let's see who's ready, if you were ready to jump into this with me tonight. Oh, we got Utah too. What's up? We got North Carolina. Love it. Welcome, you guys. This is awesome. Okay, so again, if you're just joining, I know I kind of started a little bit early. So if you're just joining, tell us if you're watching live or the replay. And also let us know who you are and where you're from. I think what's so cool about this type of sisterhood is that we can all come together online from all different parts of the world and be able to kind of connect and learn. My hopeful thing is that you take away one thing on this live tonight and go, wow, that can be such a big improvement on your exercises, your form, to get you some better results, okay? All right. What's up? We got Kentucky in the house too. Love this. This is fun. I've never been to Kentucky. I've never been to actually I have been to North Carolina, so I take that back. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So for those that found the comment button, you all get a booty buck just for finding the comment button tonight, all right? So go ahead and just start tallying up your booty bucks off to the side, and then you'll just let me know at the very end of today's live how many booty bucks you got, okay? All right, we got Jason and Abby. What's up, you guys? So excited. This is a great one, as this will be so utilized for everybody, okay? So bring one, bring all. The more the merrier. Okay, so let's dive into, let's going into our form tonight, you guys. Again, this is going to be interactive, so I want you to go ahead and join me. The first one we're going to be starting off with is the banded clam. So if you've got your band available, I'm going to choose level 2 tonight. Feel free to choose whatever one you want. And when we put it on, I've had so many questions of people asking me, well, should I put it closer to my knees, or should I put it closer down to my booty? Which one is the best option? My suggestion, just it's honestly either or. Up by your knees is going to make it a little bit harder, and when you bring it all the way down more towards your hips or your booty is going to make it just a tad bit easier. So you'll kind of allow that to, as you're going through the movement, you kind of tell me where you want it. But I'm generally kind of keep it in the middle for now. Okie dokie? All right, so what we want to do is go ahead and set ourselves up for success. So find yourself onto your floor right now. I'm going to go ahead and bring it to a wider screen so we can see this here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a clam together, all right? So very interactive, again, like I said, is we're going to go ahead and go into our clam. Now, a common mistake that I see is that we go into it and we're not really sure exactly where to put our knees and our feet, okay? So then I ask someone, well, where are you feeling this exercise? And I hear a lot where they actually say right here onto the leg. And right in this position, that's what I feel. So have any of you made that mistake where you're thinking it's more of a leg burn? Well, actually, this one's technically supposed to be for your glutes. So in order to then switch that adjustment, what we want to do is bring your feet a little further back with those knees. Maybe we tuck those feet in a little bit, kind of depends. Now see if that changes the adjustment of it. If you also focus that your glutes have to do the work, that's what's called mind-muscle connection. And as soon as you feel the glutes, I want you to go ahead and let me know. Go ahead and say, oh, the burn is real. Whatever you want, let me know that you're feeling it so we can move on to our next exercise, okay? Because otherwise we'll be here all night, burning out this one side of our leg. All right, I'm definitely feeling it right here. So, oh, you guys are feeling that burn? Okay, we got some emojis of the fire. Okay, look. So that particular muscle, you guys, is going to be the medius. What it does is it attaches from your hip and it goes to the top portion of your booty, giving you that nice, good lifted look. So clams are phenomenal, not only for your lower back as well. So if you have SI joints and things like that that are really giving you some issues of low back, when we strengthen our glutes, can it improve your back? Absolutely. All right, so let's dive into the other side because, of course, I have heard that some people, some members, feel one side but they don't feel the other. So let's make sure we feel both sides, okay? So let's set ourselves up for success. Maybe you have to bring your feet back a little bit, whatever you have to do, in order to feel now have the mind-muscle connection. Try to tune into the glutes. See if you can activate that medius. Now, what I'm going to even do is teach you a little bit too. Slow down the movement. Hold it up at the top and squeeze, and then slow it down on the way down. Those are your negatives. And a lot of people forget that. They end up crashing on the way down. But that's part of the amazing part of your exercise, you guys, is the negatives. That resistance against the band is half of the work. All right? So good job, you guys. Let me know when you feel it. If you're feeling it, I want you to go ahead and give me that emoji, okay? Give me that little fire burn again so I can stop doing this because my butt's on fire right now. Help me. Are we feeling it yet? Okay. Awesome. So when we got it, if we did not get it, some adjustments to be made is sometimes I see that people are turning their hips towards the ceiling. Ooh, do not do that. Keep the hips really straight up and down like this. Also, what I see is people kind of crashing into it like this. So bring that shoulder right under, or that elbow underneath the shoulder, lift yourself through the rib cage, and you're actually going to be working your core as you're doing this move. Okay? All right, you guys are definitely feeling it. Okay, good work. So if you did it with me, you guys all get a booty buck, so make sure to tally it up that you found that comment button. Now let's go ahead and go into our next move. You guys ready? So if we go back to our screen here just to kind of see our next one, we're going to be working on the hydrants and then kickbacks next. So here we go. Let's go into our hydrants. So this one is a tabletop position, and we're going to use the bands, but we're also going to be start to kind of elevating and going into some of the weights here in just a moment. So have those nearby. You want the hands right underneath the shoulders. You can have them flat or up on your knuckles, whatever feels best for you. And you want those knees right underneath those hips. So what I do is I start with my knees about hip distance apart. Some people put them together, but I think that it's best to actually have them more hip distance. So start already in that distance there. From here, what you're going to do is you're going to stabilize yourself on one knee, and you're going to bring it out to the side, okay? Now keep in mind, we want to try to keep those hips parallel to the mat, which means don't open your hips up like this to the ceiling, because then we're going to lose a lot of that activation. So it's only like a 45-degree angle here where you're really going to feel it. Now again, don't crash down in your negatives. All right, what that means is you're going up and then you're just crashing down. You're going up and crashing down. No, really feel it on the way back down, okay? All right, if you guys can feel that one, give me a comment. Lets me know. Ah, thank you for the compliments of outfit. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, once you feel it, let's go to the other side. Let's get even here, and let me know if you're feeling it, where you're feeling it. All right, so comment down below. Where are you feeling this particular move right here? Wow, I'm already dying over here, you guys. It is shocking what a little band can do. And all of these, again, are our floor exercises. I will show you all of our other pages that we go through, our one-on-one that we've been taking our members down of the different pages as well. You're feeling the outer booty. That's it. Okay, you get a booty buck. Good job. So that was passed off. If you were feeling that all in your glutes, you get an A+. Now we can move on to the next one, okay? All right, so here's the next one. We're going to go into our kickbacks. Now you can do a kickback with your booty band on. It works just as good. But for all those that have long bands, I want you to go ahead and grab that right now, because I'm going to demonstrate how we can do it with one or the other, okay? Well, maybe you can have both on just for double the fun. Okay, so common mistake I see is that when people go into this, they're putting the band on the mid of their foot, when really we actually want to feel that heel, because remember, the heel is where we're going to get the glute activation, okay? So you can have it in both hands, or you can have it in one hand, whatever feels best for you. Or the other option, you guys, is you can attach this band to something, like underneath your couch or bed or something like this. Very easy to interlace and kind of do a connection there. Okay, so here we go into our kickbacks. What we're going to start off is, again, making sure that we're in that tabletop position. Our knees are about hip distance apart. And then we're going to go ahead and flex our foot so we can hold on to that band. Otherwise, if we're pointing our foot, we're going to lose it, okay? So keep it flexed. And from here, we're going to take it down and then squeeze it back up and lift. Okay, common mistake is that when people come back down, they bring the knee to the other knee. Why is that an issue? Okay, I want you to comment down below. This is an important one. You're actually going to win 3 booty bucks if you answer this question. Why is bringing your knee all the way back down here not as effective as if you just stop right here? What is that called? Find your comment button. I'm looking for it tonight. Why am I stopping here instead of bringing the knee all the way down? What is happening? I want to see who's my smartest on here. Go ahead and find the comment button. 3 booty bucks for this one. Instead of bringing the knee all the way down, why am I stopping here? What's the point of this? What's the goal I'm trying to achieve? What is this called? Anybody can come the closest answer. You guys are being all shy. Uh-oh. Are we learning something tonight? I hope we are. Oh, still thinking about it, or maybe my computer's still picking it up. All right, while you're still thinking about what it is, oh, I got a couple comments that came in. I'm going to repeat to the other side. So you do the same thing, repeat to the other side. Okay, so somebody said, okay, we got better to stay in the movement and push through. Okay. I kind of get that. All right, someone said activation, losing activation, keeping the glute activated. Yeah! Okay, for all those that commented, you all get 3 booty bucks, okay? That's exactly right. Effective range of motion, you guys. So one of the things we're gonna definitely be learning is there's all of our exercises that we can be going from rest to contract, and then rest and to contract. And that's really not our effective range of motion. So what we want to do is stay in that activation and then go back up. So notice I'm going very slow, and then I'm going to push it in my positive. Slow on my negative and really push through on that positive, you guys. And let me know where you're feeling that. What part of the glutes do you guys feel this one? Now notice you are getting a core exercise while you guys are doing this, because you're having to hold your core up through this. Otherwise, we'd look like this. We'd be dropping, right? So we're having to engage the core. This is a phenomenal one for giving us a great looking booty, some great looking legs, and a nice good core. Strengthening all of these. All right, so what part of the booty was that? Because that was different part of our booty than the first 2 that we did. Top of the booty. Yes. Yes, it's kind of top. So this one is mostly what's called our maximus, you guys. So this one that runs the majority part of the booty right here that's here. So if you call that top, then yes. We have the side top, which is the first ones that we were doing, right? Those were the medius, and we were working the maximus on that one. All right, you guys are doing so good. All right, let's dive into the next one. It's going to start getting a little bit challenging here, is the glute bridge. And if we can, this is the time to either grab your dumbbells or your barbell, and of course a booty band. You guys having fun yet? Are we learning something new? Okay. Now I really want your glutes to work for this one. So if you can go up a level, let's go up a level with each other. So again, probably about mid-thigh, or if it is kind of a challenging band, you can kind of move it up a little bit, okay? All right, so glute bridge, let's dive into that. A common mistakes that I see on this one is going to be that they're pulling from their low back instead of their glutes. I did that one for years. And what I noticed is that when I started to lift heavier and heavier weight, the more and more I start feeling my back. And so that's when you really have to make sure that form is perfect now while we're still in the bands or smaller weight, because as we start lifting more weight to start seeing more results, if we're not feeling the right activation, we can really give ourselves injuries, which we want to stay away from, right? So let's dive into this one. The glute bridge, which eventually leads into the hip thrust, are absolutely my top favorites. And if you know this about me, I utilize them all the time in our workouts because they're not only phenomenal for your core, legs, and glutes. They're phenomenal for this whole posterior chain of yours, okay? So bridge, do this with me. All right, so I want to know from you guys, I've got this space in my low back right now. Do I keep this space right here and go into it? Or do I take the space out and go into it? I want to hear from you right now. And whoever answers this first gets 5 booty bucks, okay? So in my bridge, do I keep the space or do I take the space out? Let me know. This is such an important piece of your bridges and your hip thrusts. If you've not been doing this, it could really be throwing your game off. You could be pulling from your back. All right, guess who said it? All right, space out. So since there was both of you that said it at the same time, I'm going to give you both 5 booty bucks, okay? So tally up 5 booty bucks on your guys' thing. Yes, take the space out. You got it. I did not know that, you guys. And what I was doing was I had this space, and when I was pulling through, I got done and my low back was just in pain. And I was like, what is going on? So what we want to do is rotate and tilt that pelvis, and then we're going to push up with those heels, and wow, what a difference you're going to feel. Okay, so the next part, before we start adding weight, we want to make sure we're good here. A common mistake I see is people's feet are clear out here. That's going to be working kind of more under here. So if I bring my heels up, now we're going to start to feel it more in that lower awesome part of our glutes, okay? So phenomenal for those that are like,
I need help in my lower booty. This is a good one for you, okay? Okay, so now that we know our feet are closer together, we have no space in our lower back. So my next question I have for you, when we go into our bridge, do we go all the way down to the bottom and then go back up? Or do we stop a few inches from the bottom and go back up? Which one is it? Do we go all the way down? Or do we leave a few inches and go back up? First one to comment, I'm giving away 5 booty bucks for this one. First one. Stop. Okay, good job. You guys all get 5 booty bucks. Good job. All right, so that's right. So we want to stop before we get to the bottom. We want to have some space because we want to be able to still be in that glute activation. That's called our effective range of motion. So slowing down the movement, let me know what you guys are feeling this. Are you starting to feel a difference than all that kind of like random stuff like this before? You know, sometimes we're in these like endurance classes that are just teaching us to go so fast and to sweat it out that we kind of don't really learn the correct form. I didn't for years, and then I just wasn't seeing awesome results. And so it really is about slowing the moves down. You guys are so smart. I'm so impressed. Okay. All right, so now let's add some weight, whether you've got your dumbbells, and if you don't have a barbell, I'm telling you, girl, or boys, all right, whoever's watching, men or women, very important to make sure we're utilizing weights, and I want to know why. Why is it important to start adding more weights into our workout? I'm asking you guys. Why wouldn't I just keep lifting the same 3 pounds? Isn't that going to get me sculpted and toned eventually? Why do I want to start adding more weight to my workouts? All right. Build muscle to increase your metabolism, to shred fat, and get that nice, good, sculpted, toned look that we're looking for. Our clothes will fit better. Our energy would be able to get bone density. I mean, the list goes on, right? Helps fight against osteoporosis. You name it. Okay, so let's go ahead and now try it with the barbell. So the first step is take the space out of your low back. Make sure that your feet are a little bit hip distance apart, or you can go a little further with them. Make sure that your feet are nice and close to your booty. I like to kind of bend them as far as they kind of can go. And then from there, I push my heels into the ground. I send my glutes up. I only stop, and so I'm about a couple inches from the ground, and then I go back up. That's it. Now I'm in my effective range of motion. Now what I like to do is add a little pulse up at the top to really give the best of this. So if you guys are feeling this in the right spot, then I'm going to mark you as an A+. If you're feeling this in your back, then we have something to say. Now, will you feel your back? Yes, because this one is working your entire posterior chain, which means everything from here to here. So you are going to be getting that nice, good kind of like, you see this curvature in your low back you start to get, and then this kind of curvature that goes out. It gets a nice, good shape that builds in the back here, okay? Okay, now let's dive into the next one. I'm already sweating over here. Whew. You guys feeling it? Okay, so now we're gonna go into abs, all right? We got only 3, and then I'm gonna dive into some of the other more advanced ones. But we're gonna start with basic. Okay, so the next one is our plank dips, all right? You can do this with a band on, but it's not required. Okay. Okay, so plank dips. Set ourselves up. You guys ready for this one? All right, I want you to feel this one. So if we're a beginner, we can just be on our knees and our elbows, but walking it out so that we go into a plank. Or if you're advanced, we can take it up onto our toes. All right, so plank dips, what I see a common mistake is that when we're going into a plank, we're just really taking the heat on our back. We're dropping too low. We think we have to imagine this like straight line, when in reality, it kind of looks more like this. You're bringing the core up a little bit because you have to activate the core. So this, I'm feeling my back. This one, I'm feeling my core. So I want you to feel it. You're going to know your perfect spot for that, okay? Whether you're a beginner or advanced, you'll feel it. Okay, once you get to your perfect plank, then all you have to do is just rotate slightly, not too crazy, just enough so you can really start to feel the entire part of that core. Now what I mean by entire part is you should feel it kind of like from here to here, just by doing that tiny little rotation. You don't have to drop your hip all the way down, but just enough to really feel it going from one side to the next. Okay? All right, good. If you felt it good, then you passed off, all right? All right, next one is we're gonna dive into the reverse crunches. Okay, so reverse crunches is going to be pulling from that lower core. And what this is, we're gonna bring the knees up first to start here. And what it is I just want you to think of tilting the pelvis, almost like you're taking the tailbone off the ground. Now, you can do this by not really thinking of your muscles used, but I want you to have the mind-muscle connection and connect to your lower core right now so that you're just going to pull and lift up. So lift up. And once you feel that lower core, let me know when you do. I'm looking at my comments to make sure you guys are feeling it, but it will be a nice, good burn. Now I'm going to take it a step further. If we throw our balance off by just putting a dumbbell in one hand and do the same movement, I want you to see if that stability muscles kick in just a little bit more. Now you can challenge it by bringing it up a little bit more over your head, a little out to the side. You can have some fun with it, but it's going to make it really challenge, okay? The other option you can do here is straighten the legs, and we're going to take the heels right to the ceiling without trying to bring our feet up over our head. It's just straight up. Now it's, again, working this lower section here, and you're just taking the tailbone up off. Now the goal here is not to crash to the mat, so watch as I slowly focus on just controlling that move instead of crashing. Feel it? Now I've got stability muscles having to kick in, and now I'm in my negative going slow, and it's the best burn ever. Are you guys feeling that? Okay, all right, we got another one. You guys ready for the next ab exercise one? I have filmed quite a few videos on this one, so I know you guys should get this one. So I'm definitely gonna give away 5 booty bucks on this. Okay, so my question I have for you is a Russian twist more effective like this or like this? Which one? 1 or 2? Is it better for here? Or, feel it, which one do you feel? You tell me. Which one's more challenging? Do you feel an activation more on one or the other? I love that we're learning something today. This is so fun. So if you answered number 2, control, you got, I told you 5 booty bucks on that, didn't I? So not both hands. So no, when we're doing both hands, you guys feel it. All we're doing is just using momentum, and we've been taught that our whole life. But what I really am feeling is that my lower back is going to pop out of place eventually. So what I like to really focus on is to slow it down. Feel it on one side, because what's happening here, you guys, is our stability muscles, which is our core, is on fire right now. Try it. It's the best workout ever. Now switch it over to the other side. Woo! I am feeling more of an activation and a burn right now of holds. And that's the cool part we learn with each other, is taking the traditional moves we've been taught and finding better ways to start seeing better results. All right? Cool, cool. All right, so for those that said the second one, the control, you got 5 booty bucks. Okay, cool. So now let's go ahead and take a look at what type of fun this can really be together. How much did we learn on just floor exercises? Comment down below. Did you learn anything? Was there maybe one thing? What was it? Share with us what that was. Maybe that was take the low back and flatten it on our bridges. Maybe we learned that adding more weight can help us shred more fat. Maybe that was learning stability moves with our core. Maybe that was slowing down in our negatives. Comment one thing down below as what you possibly learned on just our floor exercises today. As you do a comment there, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of sneak peek preview, show you kind of some of the other fun ones that I've been taking the one-on-one members down. And so this is cool because what we can do is one-on-one Zoom calls where you can be in your home, I can be in mine. You're performing the exercise. I'm watching you to make sure that you're doing it correct. You're telling me where you're feeling it. And we either pass you off or we readjust to make sure you're doing it correctly. Because the goal here is to start really adding more weight. And if you're not doing it correctly, then that's the goal is now hindered, right? So compound exercises is the next section that we end up going down. We learned something in Russian twist, and we learned that slowing things down. Isn't that cool? So often we can be so consumed with the endurance type of training, which I'm going to go into in just a moment. So great. So compound exercises is the next one. Learning about just picking up the barbell correctly. I see common mistakes of our clean and press all the time. 3 different types of deadlifts or 3 different types of squats. Really diving into those hip thrusts and learning those a little bit more. I have a lot of women that are terrified of lunges. They're feeling it all in their knees. Should we feel it in our knees? The answer is no. So I'm very excited as I'm taking women down, understanding different components to change your body to then start feeling it more into your glutes and legs rather than your quads and your knees. So great there. Next one we have that I really like going into is isolation exercises. These ones are really tough for women. Those B stances, have you ever heard of those? Where it's like single leg squats, but it's a B stance. But phenomenal. We will be diving into single leg hamstrings into our challenge that's coming up. So you guys, the challenge that you're in, the next leg workout is going to be utilizing some of these isolations. So if we're not doing it correctly, we can't be adding more weight to then be increasing that muscle. So very, very important we make sure we're doing these right. And then the last one here is elevated exercises. Taking your workouts just to the next elevation. Have you ever done an elevated lunge before? Where the front foot is elevated? Girl, those are just my favorite. I love them, I love them. Okay, so different kinds there. But let's dive into it. We're gonna kind of close up here and I'm gonna leave it open here for any questions you guys have. But I wanna just dive into the types of training, what the ones we kind of commonly get stuck in, and how we can really start seeing faster results. So endurance is where our goal is just to like run a race or to just not get winded when we walk upstairs. And so a lot of us, when we're thinking of trying to get sculpted and toned, or even essentially losing weight, we're jumping on the treadmill or counting our steps or the bicycle or the Peloton, etc. And we're finding, recent studies are finding that, yeah, those are great for your heart and great for endurance, but not the best training style if you're trying to sculpt and tone and fit into your clothes better. So all of us have just been putting so many hours on that treadmill, come to find out that's just kind of keeping us in a different type of training. Great for your heart and your endurance, but if we want to start seeing some awesome goals and to actually fitting into our clothes better, let's lean into the next 2. That is called hypertrophy, and that is the strength training part. This is where you're actually going to see that the reps and sets, they change. The reps are a little bit lower. You can notice that the sets are a little higher. So those are a little bit interesting. And this is where you can start utilizing to start lifting more weights. And that's why it's crucial to make sure to have the right form when you start implementing hypertrophy and strength training so we can start fitting into our clothes better. Start to see that? So it's less of this fast stuff that we've been teaching, right? This stuff. Less of the endurance and more on strength and endurance and strength and hypertrophy. Now, power is not the type of program we're in. That's the type of 1 or 2 sets and you're pulling like 500 pounds. That's more for when the girls are like, oh, I don't want to get big and bulky. And I'm like, well, we don't do powerlifting here. So we don't get big and bulky because that's 1 to 2 reps. It's a lot different of repetitions.
and as far as weight goes as well. So ways that we progress without increasing weight. So here at Booty Bands and Barbells, we don't focus only on lifting more weights. We do have 10 other ways that we start to dive into to look at areas that we can start to improve together. Maybe that's changing up those pauses, those reps and sets. Maybe that is changing up isolation. So instead of always just doing the same thing over and over, we start to change it up with each other and create that plateau. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to leave it open for any questions now, so that if you have any questions, let me know. But for those that are like, you know what, really honestly just need help with my form, go ahead and just comment form down below so that we can see if a coach is a good fit for you. Basically what we'd be going over is the form series we went over, the floor exercises together, but now increasing the weight. And then we'd be going over compound exercises and the isolation and the elevation exercises with each other, just to make sure that overall you're having the confidence of what you're doing correctly. You can start upping your weight in those areas and start holding your hand. Now, if you're already in the accountability program, then we'll make sure that as we're going through your program, we start implementing these on our Zoom calls. Just make me a little reminder and say, hey, that's my focus. Because we do focus on 3 elements in our program. It's the total integration of the emotional part, the nutrition part, and the workout part, making you become an absolute expert. So this is the last program you need. That is our ultimate goal here at Booty Bands and Barbells, is to have women take back the control over their life for good. That's our ultimate goal. Now, of course, bring your husbands too, if that's the case. Love it. We got Abby and Jason. I love that they're a partner doing it together. I think it's awesome. So again, comment form down below. And then if there's any questions, I'll be on here for just a couple more minutes. If there's anything on form in particular that you're struggling with, a particular exercise, let me know, and we'll dive into that. Oh, I love this. Booty down, boobs up. That's how we pick things up. You got it. I hope that really connects with you, because it totally does me. Helps me every single time when I go pick up that barbell. So we're always picking it up with the right form, right? Oh, I'm so glad it helps you guys. Oh, my heart is so complete. I love this. That's the goal, is that we are learning something and we take away something so we can get better and better. Love it. Awesome. Any other questions? If not, I'll go ahead and close out here in about a minute. But ultimately just, goal here, mission obviously with Booty Bands and Barbells is to really start to transform women's lives from the inside out, taking back that confidence and that control, and really living your best life and putting the attention and the focus in the areas of your life that you have utter joy, making so this stuff isn't running your life and having to be complicated, but let's simplify it. Let's make it easier. Let's finding those solutions together. Cool? Love it. Awesome, awesome. Let's see if there was anything else I wanted to discuss. You guys are doing awesome. My most favorite part of the July challenge is seeing all the introductions. I love, love, love meeting all of you. That's my favorite. And if you haven't done it yet, make sure to introduce yourself. It's never too late to jump into one of our challenges. And obviously the motto is progression over perfection. There was a couple things as far as the videos, but excuse our issues with technology. We're still in the progression stages and working on perfection, just like you. We're all in the same boat as we build that love together. Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close it out now. It looks like there's no questions that came in, but keep your questions always for me. I love them, love them. And again, if you're looking for coaching, you can always just kind of let us know. And with your booty butts, make sure to send me a DM right after this with the booty butts that you collected, so we could turn them in for a gift card, for your accountability, or if you want to use them towards the app. All right? All right, lots of love, you guys. Have an amazing rest of your evening. Hopefully you got something that was really valuable off of today, and we continue to keep learning and growing with each other weekly. Lots of love. Bye, everyone.